Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and the new Nigeria is possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, we are here again to discuss the trending things on Nigeria. We know that protest looms everywhere. Every city, there is fuel hike, and there is no even fuel at all. The PMS is nowhere to be found, and the ones you found, we have a very long queue. So we know that protest is inevitable. But the one we are going to bring you today started with the bold move by the Empowerment for Unemployed Youth Initiative, which has rejected the Federal Capital Territories Police Command's plea. The police were pleading with them to cancel their planned protest against this very recent petrol price hike. The group of unemployed youths, which represent vulnerable Nigerians, insist that the protest will go ahead as scheduled on Thursday, September 19th, despite the police command's citation of court order banning protests in Abuja. And I quote what they said: "We will not be silenced or intimidated." That is coming from the national coordinator of Comrade Dennis Momo Prince, who declared that the suffering of our people demands an urgent action, and we will take our destinies in our hands. That is coming from the unemployed youth in Abuja. This protest targets the Minister of State for Petroleum, Lokobri, and the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Petroleum Company, that is the Kiare, who they accused of failing to address the petrol scarcity and the exorbitant pricing introduced by the Tinubu's administration. They said that these very two people must go, and that is what the group has mobilized its members and allies to converge on NMPC tower, setting the stage for a potential showdown with security forces. This is what is coming at this hour. Uyi attributes the increasing cases of suicide among Nigerians to the unbearable economic conditions. A court order cannot feed our families or put fuel in our tanks. We will not be deterred by threats or intimidation by a court order. Joining me to have this very discussion are active citizens who are ready to voice their opinions on the lingering issue in Nigeria, the hunger, the hardship, and the elastic nature of Nigerians who keep bending to whatever is pushed to them. They keep bending. Let me start with our own Mr. Bassi, who is joining us all the way from Calabar Municipal to discuss this elastic nature of Nigerians. So, Mr. Bassi, let's get straight to the point. We have other things to discuss, but I think it's very important we start with the issue of this very protest emanating in Abuja. Since the unemployed youths have decided to defy the court order of no protest in Abuja, defy the order of the FCT Minister Yeson Wike not to protest, and saying that that will not provide any food to their table, that will not reduce the price of fueling. What is on your thoughts on this? And please, let us also look at the nature of Nigerians, not just the FCT protest, but Nigeria in general. What can you tell me about the elastic nature of Nigerians to adapt to whatever is pushed to them? They keep adapting, and the government seems to understand this, and that's why it seems that they keep pushing, and Nigerian keeps falling back.
Thank you, Mr. Kanu. Good evening. Good evening, Obidient across the world and viewers. Good evening, my fellow panelists. Nigerians are a special set of people, I must say, that we are going through what we are going through, and yet nobody seems to care, nobody seems to comment, nobody seems to lament. It shows you that we have that resilience to absorb whatever government of the day is throwing at us. And it's quite unfortunate that Nigerians have decided not to take their destiny into their hands, but they are comfortable with whatever they are going through. I'm going to give you an instance. The fuel scarcity is a case in study. That we are buying fuel today as high as 2,000 naira per liter, black market, because you can't even find fuel in any station. I went through the city where I am based throughout yesterday. I couldn't see any station selling fuel. And the same thing is happening today. And yet Nigerians are comfortable. Nobody seems to say anything. Everybody is adapting to the new normal of no fuel. And even where you find one is at a very exorbitant rate. And then I asked myself a question. Let me even shock you. That even bus drivers have devised a new way of driving their vehicle. So when they start their vehicle and they put on motion, as it goes on motion, they turn the engine off and the thing keeps rolling till they get to the next bus stop. That's a new way Nigerians have adjusted to. It shows you how ingenious Nigerians could be, you know. And we have adapted to the new way of living. And people have resorted to trekking, which is also another way of adjusting to the current reality. For how long are we going to absorb this? That Nigerians are so docile to the point that they have been, even if they are being squeezed into a hole, they will gladly enter without making any complaining. So is this bad? This is the same docile attitude we absorb and condone the government of Buhari for 8 years. Nigerians were not talking. They were quiet. They were saying, oh, give him time, give him time. Till 8 years elapsed. Nothing was done. And I asked myself, is it that these people cast a spell on Nigerians? That we can no longer have a voice anymore, that we've lost our voices. And we have taken the same thing into this government. Now we are all comfortable with whatever is happening. The price of commodities have gone up, I mean, to the high heavens. People can no longer buy things in the market. I walked into a supermarket today, and then I was trying to have a conversation with the owner of the place.
Since morning, I left.
People are no more buying. I said, how? Is it that people are no more eating? He said, how can they buy when there is no money? So that they just come to open, and then by 6 o'clock, they shut their place and go home. I mean, that's how bad it is. So this is where Nigerians are. And this is happening, and it's surprising, very, very shocking, that with what we are going through, nobody seems to be talking. Everybody is quiet. Everybody is calm, as if everything is okay. So that's why I call it's a new normal. So we have adapted to this kind of life. So let it be. But I'm going to challenge Nigerians today. If we don't rise up and do something, whatever we are going to see in the next coming days, we should be ready to take it. Because if these people have tested us, and we are quiet, because what they have done is they are testing the ground to see if Nigerians will react. And if Nigerians will not react, of course, they know exactly what to do. Remember, NLC did warn Nigerians that if we don't take time, if we are not careful, fuel will go as high as 5,000 per liter. And that's where we are heading. I must tell you the truth. That is the direction we are heading as it stands now. And I'm going to say this. Look at the mind game that both Dangote and NNPC are playing on Nigerians. This one will say, oh, this one has refused to pick fuel. This other one will say, oh, we will pick fuel on the 15th. We will pick. What is really going on? Meanwhile, this is the refinery we were so expectant that once it comes in on stream, it will solve our energy crisis. Now that they are on stream, you can see the politics that they are playing. So at the end of the day, I read on the paper today that yes, the vice president, Dangote refinery, was saying that 95% of their fuel is for export. So what then is now available for Nigerians? It therefore shows that these people are planning to put Nigeria in a serious bad mood level. So it's so sad. It's so sad that this is where we are. And Nigerians, we need to rise up. I don't even expect that as we are talking, that we should be talking about giving government a date. And when you mention the issue of a court issuing an order, it's sad. It's a shame that a judge will sit in a court and restrain Nigeria from protesting for lack of food in this country. It's sad. This is the level we have degenerated to, that a judge will rise up and restrain Nigerians from protesting against bad governance. It's just the beginning of what is awaiting us ahead of us. So let us rise up and do something.
Mr. Kinney, let me just interject here. You know, this the motion you're actually talking on right now, I mean, this thing did not actually start from today. I mean, it didn't start yesterday. It didn't start last year. This thing actually started since when the number of churches actually increased in Nigeria. Now, these pastors and whomsoever they call themselves to be have brainwashed Nigerians to the extent now that they are all believing and waiting for God. They are all believing and waiting for God. Anything that is happening, you will see the pastor say, oh, they are not part of it, or they cannot stand to do this, they cannot stand to do that. And then brainwash their members to do the same thing as well. Now, that is why Nigerians, they are now so skeptical or so docile on going out to protest when it's time to do anything like this. This is a government that has actually come into power that everybody knew was a fraud. But these same pastors were part of the problem that gave Nigerians the confidence. They were coming out with different prophecies, coming out with different, I saw God, God spoke to me, God did this to that. I mean, and now what is happening? What is playing on right now? These guys, they are just as bad as the government as well. So that is why Nigerians, they have gone to that comatose state that they don't even know when they are being slaughtered or they are being killed anymore. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, my brother, for interjecting.
Mr.
Yes, please.
Let me quickly. It seems like the government is already aware of the elastic nature of Nigerians, and they are capitalizing on the elastic nature of Nigerians to endure. And that's why Bola Tinubu, and even from Buhari's administration, from the first tenure of his 4 years, he says Nigerians should endure. They keep enduring, that is going to get better. Then the second time he 2019, he said that would be the best time. Never knew that that was the time they were coming to loot. Finally, Nigerian keeps keep going to that very elastic nature more and more. And now that we're in Tinubu's administration, it seems like the government has understood that whatever is thrown to Nigerians, that they will always adapt. Can you tell me, from your own perspective, whether this is wrong, that the government is actually using that very elastic nature of Nigerians to victimize them?
They are taking advantage of the elastic nature of Nigerians, the patience of Nigerians. They are capitalizing on that, and they are using that against Nigerians. And that is why I am saying that Nigerians should rise up. It is time to wake up from our slumber. We have slept for so long. This is the time to rise up and begin to talk and begin to speak out. An active citizen that refuses to speak out can never be called an active citizen. So this is the time for Nigerians to rise up. Except we don't consider ourselves as citizens of this country. If we are truly citizens of this country, then this is the time for us to rise up and begin to demand good governance. Begin to demand good governance from this government and let them know that Nigerians can no longer take this anymore. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Passy. Lord K.
About coming to you, Lord K. If we witness what happened in Rivers State between Fubara and Wike and still happening, and nothing serious has been done, whether by the courts or by the government, it seems like it's rascality that reigns supreme in Nigeria. Or is it just happening at the level of governments? Because now we see such rascality about coming to Edo State. And why I mention this is that I know that you are very proud and a stout supporter of good governance, especially on the upcoming election in Edo State, supporting Abata. Now, that is the Labour Party candidate. I understand the allegations that the PDP is alleging against the IG of police, which of course the tenure has even was elongated by Tinubu. And the alleged things, let's leave the part of the opposition as a Labour Party and talk about the credibility of election in Edo State, because that is what will be coming up very soon, not just far away. So we see the allegations both in national TV, where PDP are alleging that this election is more or less already compromised by the APC. Now, my question to you is this. Given the prevailing circumstances in Edo State right now, do you think that we should just ignore the talks coming out from Governor Baseki about the APC talks, about them, planning to even mobilizing people to change to police? Let's even listen to what they actually alleged on the national TV, so that our viewers will hear what they said, and then you come back to tell us what is happening in Benin, whether you share your views. Let's take a listen to them.
What by this action we are doing, we are bringing into the public domain the critical, very existential issues surrounding the elections in Edo State. First, we must understand that even while in Benin, the Inspector General of Police sits or stands on the podium, it is not part of the option that you did. And at the preliminary meetings on that day, he declared that some persons have been brazenly arrested in Benin based on the July 18 killing of a police officer. A police officer who was killed, and even all the newspapers, I think including Arise TV, showed APC hoodlums on Airport Road in Benin. It was even published widely in newspapers. I even saw a copy of the Vanguard of that day yesterday. And these persons have remained free. They are roaming the streets, banding and brazenly disregarding process. So we felt that it is important that we bring this to the public domain. This is also a situation where we've raised alarms that the APC have procured numerous police uniforms so as to dress as policemen on the election day. And to just buttress that, 2 days before the coming of the IG to Benin 3 days ago, a contestant in the gubernatorial primaries of the APC, Mr. Blessing Agbomrere, was paraded with his APC hoodlums, where all of them wearing all the APC caps. But he was dressed particularly in an official police uniform with the rank of a CSP and making spurious statements that are designed to disturb public peace. We had to bring this to the notice of everybody, since the police have refused to do anything. In the last 3 weeks, the Nigerian police, in Gestapo style, have busted the homes of chieftains of the PDP, carted them away to unknown locations in total violation of their rights, and not stopping there. The police can arrest anybody they so wish, but they cannot take them to places where nobody knows, and hold them illegally, unlawfully. So we were screaming that first we will sign, but the police must come to equity, must come to the table with clean hands. Anybody who wants to come to it must come to it with clean hands. So the police have morphed into an armed wing, more or less, of the APC in the state. So we are scared that if we sign a peace accord, we will be endorsing the very, very unethical positioning of the police.
Lord K, we have heard from Dr. Pedro Obaseki in this video of the PDP. Now, I want us to leave aside the issues of partisan politics and talk about escalating violence that is going to mar this election in Edo State. Now, PDP not signing the peace accord, wouldn't it be endorsing illegality if they did? Because the police, like they said or alleged, are acting like a morphed armed wing of the APC, according to Pedro Obaseki. Do you really toe that line of thought that the APC are already engaged with the Nigerian police, as this man alleged, and nobody has come out to refute it, that they are wearing police uniforms, preparing themselves against that very day? Do you still think in all of this that Olumide Akpata will come triumphant on all of these allegations?
Yes, good evening, fellow Obedients around the world, everyone in studio, my Zoom panelists, and my Nigerians everywhere. Thank you very much, Mr. Kanu, for this opportunity again. Not signing the peace accord. Well, I'm not a partisan human being. I'm not somebody that will see something that's white and call it black. I'm not one of those that want to debate or talk issues on party grounds. We have to be fair, we have to be straight, and we need to have that integrity in everything we deal with. Now, the grounds at which PDP is actually writing or saying all these their comments now is something that I believe has substance. It's something that I believe should be taken seriously. Okay, yes, we know there are different fractions inside the political movement in Edo State, but then, what is happening inside the PDP? Why they are being fought by the APC, that now the APC government has now gone to the extent of even going to produce police uniforms they want to use for their operations on that day, is something that's really, really disturbing. It's really disturbing. Remember, this is not the first time they have actually done this. During the presidential election, they actually did this as well, which of course was all over the country, where you have fake officers coming out with their different rifles and embarrassing or harassing the public. Snatching, aiding in snatching and running away with ballot boxes. So now they have promised, the president himself has promised that he's going to deliver Edo State to APC. And their strategy is actually now being exposed. How? By this one, bringing out uniforms, fake uniforms, to their thugs, arming them and placing them on polling booths. That's one of the strategies they've used. Now, this is APC that in Edo State has never gone on air for an interview one way or the other. This is APC that has never ever advertised their gubernatorial candidates for Edo State on a commercial in any channel. And now the president himself has come out to say he's going to deliver APC, he's going to deliver Edo State to APC. Yakub Mohammed had the infantry to actually come out to say he's coming to, see over the election in Edo State and make sure it's free and fair. Who the hell is he fooling? Who the hell is he trying to talk garbage at? This is somebody that we know that has been the lapdog of the president himself. And now he's telling us he wants to come out and deliver a free and fair election in Edo State.
Okay.
Well,
in other words, the belief that what Obaseki is talking about, and then the governor of Edo State is also shouting, is actually happening over there. That is what
I'm getting from what you're saying, correct?
Very correct.
So there is people should take seriously the issue
of not signing this peace accord as more of they don't want to endorse the illegality that is about to happen there. They don't want to be part of a pact that is already flawed. That is what we understand. But coming on a lighter mood, Lord K, we saw yesterday that His Excellency Alex Oti was in Edo State, and he shut down the state just like PO did. What more can you do you have to tell us about that? Because we reported that yesterday you were bringing that up, that as we were having that program, that he was just about shutting down his campaign in Edo State. Can you tell us what's more to expect, since Alex Oti has assured them that what is performing in Abia State is what is going to be seen in Edo State, or much more, like Apata has promised?
I mean, they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. That is exactly what Apata is actually displaying to people of Edo State right now. The capacity of people like Alex Oti, His Excellency Peter Obi, Aisha Yusuf, that has actually come out. These are people with capacity, with integrity, people with substance. People that will understand that, yes, know what is happening in the country, knows what the state actually wants. These are the people he's paraded himself with. And the Edo people have actually seen this. I mean, there were people even sitting on the roof yesterday. People were sitting on the roof yesterday to see Alex Oti, Osaibobo, Apata on their campaign trail. This will tell you how organic, how Edo State has actually accepted Olumide Osaibobo Apata as the next governor they want to vote in. So whatever they want to do, whatever Tinubu and his INEC or his police, whatever they want to do, well, they will meet a very good resistance from Edo people on that day, because they will know Edo not be Lagos, Edo not be Abuja. Edo is not the place you come and mess about. So let's play everything as it is. As far as Olumide Akpata is concerned, he's prepared, he has done everything, and he'll still be doing everything until that very early morning where the campaigning will stop. We will do everything to our power to see that, yes, we have covered all grounds. And
so while PDP and
APC are engrossed in the war of who is going to rig the most, Apata is busy visiting the creeks, visiting all the nooks and crannies of Edo State. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Then what about this issue of the
protest heating up in Abuja and the court order you just interjected when Kini was there? Can you also give us your last opinion on it? Just use 1 minute to summarize your take on that one.
Well, on that issue, I really encourage Nigerians, because I believe they have been damaged psychologically with what happened during the NSAS and whatever protest has first time. Yeah, the end bad governance. They have been damaged psychologically by that. So now I'm telling you guys now that this is the mother of all protests, like what they have actually called it. from the 15th onwards, because this one is indefinite. There's no definite time for it anymore until there's a change in our country, a change in our nation. What are we asking for? The price of fuel to come down, which is within the reach of the so-called president, which is within the reach of the NNPCI themselves. So they should do something about that. As soon as it is corrected, every other thing will fall in place in Nigeria. We all know that. And that is why they are holding that fuel price at the very peak they can right now. They are testing the ground right now if we don't do anything, because they are looking at this fuel price going as far up to about 5,000 per liter if we don't deal with this issue right now. Because Tinubu himself, he's enjoying all this. He's enjoying it. His cronies are all enjoying the hike in price. They are grinding Nigeria to a standstill gradually. But it's up to us. It's up to us to stand up and defend our rights. Defend what we know is good and run with it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Lord K. Let's get our own Tony
on the line. Tony, this is your turn to tell us. You were telling us previously before we entered the show about how you left your house since 5, 6 a.m. and up till until now before you were able to get fuel through to your vehicle. What is the experience like? And of course, are you adapting like every other Nigeria, or are you preparing to hit the street when the time comes? Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Kanu, for having me. Like I said, a lot of the times that elections have consequences. Nigeria, I think now, is worse than Venezuela. Honestly, there is no rules of engagement anymore. It's whatever you can get away with, you do it. Fuel prices, remember, they keep telling us, yeah, by this date, the fuel supply will be all over the place. There will be no queues anymore. That day will come and pass, and they will again say on the 15th, on the 20th, they keep pushing it backwards. This is where we are. This is a country where people lie and get away with it. How long will it take to supply Nigerians with fuel which they use? And the worst part of it, ladies and gentlemen, is that you can't buy fuel now on jerry cans. They won't let you. So you can't even have fuel to power your gens or your lawnmowers because they won't sell you fuel in jerry cans. So the problem is kind of getting worse by the day. And, you know, I really blame Nigerians. Sometimes I stop blaming those in power, maybe for a minute or so, because we Nigerians have let them get away with a lot of things. We've accommodated them. What is it? You've been importing fuel when there was just before you said there's no subsidy anymore. There was no fuel shortage. Now you remove subsidy. There was no shortage, but the price of fuel was going up. Now, all of a sudden, there is both shortage and then high price. Nigerians, what have we done? Who did this for?
Mr. Tony, you know, we keep lamenting who did this to us and who did that to us. But again, the question is, how elastic are Nigerians keep adapting? They keep whatever is thrown at Nigerians, they all
absorb. Now you are talking about, plastic cans not being used, or the filling stations no longer selling. Don't you think that there is an approach that the federal government is using right now, which is make the fuel to be scarce so that people can't even see it to buy? Then, by the time they see it to buy, they'll be ready to buy at any price. Don't you think that that is the logic behind the scarcity?
You can ascribe almost anything to what is going on in Nigeria, because there's no rule of law. There's nobody is following the rules of engagement. These people are capable. This government is capable of doing anything, and they will get away with it. Look, they want to starve Nigerians almost to the point of death, so that they can subjugate Nigerians. They can tell them what to do and not what to do, because nobody wants to get a scratch from protesting, from demanding the right things be done. Everybody is kind of scared. No, it's not going to be me.
But the kind of crowd, like the kind of crowd
we
that
see in the filling stations, like what is showing on the screen right now, are enough to hit the streets. Why are Nigerians not taking to the street to protest all of this? Why do we all just lament and go back to our various homes, garnishing our teeth? Why is it that this is in our nature? Is it like a curse?
It is. The thing is that, like I said earlier, nobody wants to have a scratch on his or her body. So, talk of dying because you are asking for things to be done right. So everybody's kind of, they intimidate you, they send talks, and that's why I said I blame Nigerians also, even more than the government, because they tolerate nonsense. You know, these people they are using in Togri, and the Nigerians who are also suffering. And it makes me wonder. That's why I said, who did this to us? In a civilized country, like this Edo election coming up, the people of Edo will use it to punish the central government who is doing this to us. But look at what is going on. You see people campaigning for them, saying that APC is the best. These are the people, when they go home, they may not find something to eat because of the central government's policies. So you wonder, what are we made of? Why can't we take strong decisions as human beings and get things done right? That empower, respect the rule of law, the constitution, and the people that they're supposed to serve. So you can start to assign a lot of reasons for what is making Nigerians be docile. A lot of reasons, which are you and I know very well what they are. So here we are. And according to reports, they're featuring a candidate that cannot know left from right, according to reports. Others are campaigning for him.
But Tony, that goes back again to the fact that which kind juju they happen. Now even
suppose answer this kind of questions will be say you they bring out now myself, because for that Edo state.
But what I'm going to tell Edolites is to watch out, particularly Labour Party. This election is going to be real scary. Let me use that phrase, the word. It's going to be violent. Let me be honest with you. Because PDP and APC, they are gearing up. APC wants to impose a candidate on Edo people by all means necessary. And PDP knows that. Let Labour Party not just stand and watch them. Let them prepare their own battle. Because this is going to be battle. Anybody who is going to be the strongest, who reads.
Yes. Okay, Tony, let me thank you once again for sharing this. I really appreciate you bringing back the Edo
spirit, because Edo is where everybody is headed. But Lord K, let me just quickly for the last time ask again, why are Edo people, even up till now, when the country is suffering, glad that everybody is showing in everybody's face, why be say Benin people, they still even attend rallies of APC? Why then they still allow APC to come out for their public place, they talk for this same Nigeria? Why?
Mr. Kanu, I cannot really answer that question, because we know, I mean, it has been proven that the rally you see with APC, they are all paid individuals. They are all paid individuals. I mean, we have seen them, heard the video clips and the sound bites and everything, where these people are scrambling for their cash. So I will not really say Edo people are actually supporting this APC agenda, but then never say never, because we know Nigerians. I've even got some of my own classmates clamoring for APC, and I have in a way detached from them, because I believe these boys that are actually doing this, they are not of the same mentality anymore. They are not. They don't have their mentality in balance anymore, because nobody in the right mind will actually be clamoring for APC, knowing what the federal, and now they are thinking of coming to even Edo State to come and produce that nonsense. So I rest my case there, because I know APC, they are a fraud. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think that is as much as we can take.
Time is up. Thank you so much, viewers, for being with us up till this very time and sharing with us the issues concerning the protest that is looming in Nigeria. We continue to thank you. And of course, please do endeavor to go to the comment section. Tell us what you feel about the looming protest. Are you one of the Nigerians who felt you are elastic, that whatever is thrown to you, whether by the state or the central government, that you continue to absorb? Will you be that same person who will converge at the filling stations and be lamenting of the suffering without hitting the street? Are you that same person who will continue to abuse Chief Bola Tinubu without taking action? But are you an active citizen of Nigeria who wishes to express your concern on the looming hardship that is in Nigeria? If you are one of them, please go to comment section, tell us how you feel about this, and also about the upcoming crisis that is about to hit Edo State election, as far as Mahmoud Yakubu is there to take it to APC, which the Edo people are rejecting fiercely. Thank you so much for being with us, and of course, until tomorrow we'll come back to bring you more things and the looming protest in Nigeria. Stay tuned. Bye for now.